Welcome back, everyone, to the deep dive. We always love hearing from you guys, and we've gotten some pretty fascinating stuff recently on leadership. Like what it really takes to be a good leader, not just like holding a position or a title, but like genuinely growing as a leader. And it just so happens that ties in perfectly with some stuff I've been reading, Finding My Power, The Hidden Science of Prayer, Energy, and Self-Transformation.
Oh, interesting title. What's the angle on this one?
Well, it's this really unique blend of the author's personal journey in leadership with these like almost spiritual concepts of internal energy and how that plays into our effectiveness as leaders.
I'm intrigued already. So are we talking about like a super high energy, go-getter kind of leader? Is that the secret sauce they're serving up?
Not quite. It's deeper than that. I mean,
Yeah.
the book kicks off with the author. They're in a good place professionally. They're heading up multiple business units, hitting all their performance targets. They even mentioned having a high Q12 score.
Ah, the Q12. Classic measure of employee engagement, right?
Exactly. So, they're feeling pretty successful, like on top of things. They put in the effort and they're seeing the results.
Makes sense. A lot of folks operate under that assumption. Put in the work, get the rewards, climb that ladder.
Yeah, and that's where the annual review comes in. The author is expecting that recognition, maybe even a promotion. And, they're even praying for it. It feels like a natural progression, right? You deliver, you move up.
Seems logical. Hard work equals reward, right? But I'm guessing there's a twist.
Big time. Instead of the praise they're anticipating, their boss hits them with, you need to be more assertive. You're too liberal in your dealings.
Whoa. Okay, so not the feedback they were hoping for.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
And it really stings when you consider the example they share. You see, they had approved a wage hike for some contract workers during a strike. They truly believed it was the right thing to do.
Sounds like a decision rooted in fairness, compassion.
Absolutely. But the thing is, it backfired, created financial strain, caused disruptions in other departments. And from the higher-ups' perspective, it was seen as a lack of, that assertiveness their boss mentioned.
So a good intention, but maybe not the most strategic move in that particular context.
Right. And the author has this tough realization. A trait they valued, fairness, was actually flagged as a weakness in a leadership position.
That's got to be a tough pill to swallow. Like, something you see as a strength can actually hold you back in certain situations, especially as you take on more leadership responsibility.
Absolutely. And that's what kind of sparks this whole internal shift in the author. They start praying differently. Not for a promotion or anything external, but for the strength to transform themselves.
Interesting. So less about give me this and more about help me become. What were they praying for specifically?
They talk about wanting the wisdom to balance empathy with assertion, the confidence to say no when necessary, the ability to, command respect without compromising kindness, really working on those internal qualities.
So recognizing that maybe the key to becoming a better leader wasn't out there in the world, but within, that's a pretty powerful shift in perspective.
Totally. And they don't just sit around hoping for change. They really go for it. They dive into studying human psychology, negotiation tactics, even behavioral science.
Wow, they really committed to this.
They did. And they talk about how they worked on their communication style, body language, all of it.
So it wasn't like a magical overnight transformation. It was a conscious effort to grow and evolve as a leader.
Exactly. A gradual process. But eventually, they were able to act differently, to handle situations in a way they couldn't before, like being able to say no confidently.
So their efforts started to pay off. Now, one of the more intriguing things the book brings up is this whole concept of internal energy. And it's not just like physical energy levels.
Right. It's more like this dynamic force shaped by purity, peace, happiness, love, power, bliss, and knowledge. That's how they describe it.
Okay, that's a mouthful. A lot going on there. So how do they break that down?
Well, they suggest everyone has their own unique balance of these seven energies, and that this balance, it influences who we are and how we behave, especially as leaders.
Interesting. So are we talking about like literal energy fields here?
Not exactly. They use analogies like a lion, representing fearless leadership, or a snake, symbolizing a more calculating and adaptable style.
Okay, I get it. So more like archetypes or qualities that shape our approach. So like power in this context wouldn't necessarily be about dominating others, but more like inner strength and, that ability to influence effectively.
Precisely. And they compare it to a refrigerator. Fridge needs energy to work properly. Just
Uh-huh.
like that, we need internal energy alignment to reach our full potential.
Okay, I can see how that would resonate. So we need to be aligned internally to be effective externally.
Exactly. Now, here's where things get really interesting. They bring up prayer, but not in the traditional sense.
Okay, I'm listening.
They argue that prayer isn't about getting material things handed to you, but about aligning your actions with your intentions. It's about tuning into the right energy frequencies to create the results you want.
So it's less about asking for a handout and more about aligning yourself to receive what you're working towards.
Exactly. They even challenge the listener directly. Are you asking for external rewards or internal strength? Are you waiting for miracles or working to create them? Are you hoping for change or becoming the change?
That's a powerful message about taking ownership and putting in the effort.
Absolutely. It's about realizing that the power you seek is already within you. And, prayer or any kind of mindful self-reflection can help you tap into that.
So it's a tool, not a guarantee. You still have to do the work.
Right. But what are those situations where, things are truly out of our control, like winning the lottery? How does this all apply then?
Well, the book suggests that in those situations, prayer isn't about trying to control the outcome, but about shifting your mindset, cultivating acceptance of what is.
So rather than praying to win, it's about finding peace, regardless of whether you win or lose.
Yeah, it's about focusing on what you can control, your internal state, your reaction, your perspective.
Interesting. So prayer becomes more of a tool for building resilience, for adapting to whatever comes your way.
Exactly. And the author reframes this idea of lottery. They call it the inner game of energy alignment, which is always winnable.
I like that because you can always work on yourself and your internal state, no matter what's happening externally.
Exactly. And that brings us back to the listener. The book asks, what internal energy shift do you need? What's stopping you from unlocking your true power?
Such a good question to ask ourselves, right? What needs to shift within us to become better leaders and, honestly, better people?
And for those who want to delve deeper, they actually provide a list of books and even scientific concepts to explore. Stuff like the power of now, becoming supernatural, quantum physics, neuroplasticity. It's a pretty diverse mix.
So to sum it all up, this deep dive into finding my power has really been about this idea that true leadership isn't just about external achievements or titles. It's an internal transformation.
It's about being willing to confront those limitations, to shift that focus inward, cultivate those essential energies, and build up resilience in the face of challenges and inevitable changes.
And the real effort often lies in this internal work, this journey of self-discovery and growth.
And what's so exciting is that by consciously cultivating this balance of energies, this blend of purity, peace, happiness, love, power, bliss, and knowledge, that might be the most profound step we can take, not just towards leadership, but towards fulfilling our unique potential in every aspect of our lives.
Such powerful insights to consider. We encourage you to really sit with these ideas and maybe explore some of those resources if you're feeling called to. Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.